What is the dumbest thing you can imagine? What if we took $70 games, sold them with all sorts of extra DLC and microtransactions and stuff in there? Okay, that could work. And then we also sell premium editions for like $100, $130, whatever, for early access to the game. So if you want to play it with your friends at launch and not be really behind, you have to spend even more money, maybe even twice the amount of money you would have spent otherwise. Okay, that could work. What's something even stupider we could do? What if we put ads in it? Well, that's what they're looking at doing over at EA. EA is prototyping in-game ads even as we speak. Andrew Wilson, the CEO of the company, said, "We have teams internally in the company right now." Oh, baby. We have teams internally in the company right now looking at how do we do very thoughtful implementations inside of our game experiences. I don't want to take Wilson out of context. If you read the full question and answer on page 12, you'll see that in-game ads aren't the thing he's most excited about. He says it's, quote, still early on that front. Repeatedly says EA needs to be, quote, very thoughtful, end quote, and suggests bigger ad opportunity is beyond the bounds of games, outside of a game itself. Okay. He said it was page 12. Okay. Oh God, it's a big answer. Yeah, to answer your question on advertising broadly again, I think it's still early on that front. And we have looked over the course of our history to be very thoughtful about advertising in the context of our play experiences. But again, as we think about the many, many billions of hours spent both playing, creating, watching, and connecting, and where much of that engagement happens to be on the bounds of a traditional game experience, our expectation is that advertising has an opportunity to be a meaningful driver of growth for us. We'll be very thoughtful as we move into that, but we have teams internally in the company right now looking at how do we do very thoughtful implementations inside of our game experiences, but more importantly, as we start to build community and harness the power of community beyond the bounds of our games, how do we think about advertising as a growth driver in those types of experiences? I don't even know what he means by like meaningful advertising growth drivers and experiences. All this really frankly means is that they want to find ways to put ads and advertising in their gameplay experiences to grow revenues, because they have people spending billions and billions of dollars in these games, billions, well, that's true, dollars and hours in these games constantly. So how do you capitalize on the time and exposure of these games? You have ads. So one way that they've already experimented with this is with like sideline ads. So like ads along the borders in the games as you're playing. So you'd be playing and then along the edges of the stands, there might be ads hung from here. There's stuff you could do with that. Famously also, I think it was NBA, they put ads into the game. So like you'd be playing the game and then there would be ads that actually play and are on screen while you're playing the game and stuff like that. And the whole idea for this is that they're looking at it and they're like, okay, well, sports game players, for example, are accustomed to a lot of ads when watching a game, like whether it's American football or soccer, whatever it is. They're like, people are accustomed to it. So what if we just put ads that they're already used to, but we put it in the video game and it'll be more immersive because there's actual ads just like they would see in a regular game, but it's in the game that they're playing. Whoa. And for them, it just makes sense because sports fans especially are already accustomed to heavy advertising. So they probably will be able to do it, get away with it, just like with NBA 2K, and you're going to like it. And they'll get even more money out of it. And I would not be shocked at all if they continue to push it on EA's front. I think it's going to be something they keep pushing for. And unfortunately, they'll do it. Some people will get upset about it. You know, I might make a video, Young might make a video, Skillet might make a video, but it's like our communities and our audiences are not the types that are playing those games that much. Like the people that are making those videos and streams are like, what's his name? The guy that does, what's the streamer that like the Madden streamer that is always doing like the hands? I don't remember his name. I've seen the videos. Whatever that guy's name is. Like if he was outspoken about it and freaked out about it, if they added a bunch of this stuff to Madden, Sketch, yeah, that's it, then you might see a change. But honestly, like they'll probably go to Sketch and offer him $1 million to play the game and not throw a fit about it. And it's not that they'll say like, don't talk about this. They'll pay him to like play the game and they'll be like, yeah, can you not call attention to that type of thing as part of this promotional thing, you know, because that's typically how these types of things will work with these big sports games, is that they'll just do sponsored streams where they have a little bit more powerful, and that's just what it's going to be. It's just, the whole thing is really stupid, but they're going to get away with it again in sports games, I have no doubt. And I'm just worried that they'll try to put it into like the single player experiences. Like, can you imagine if you're playing whatever the sequel is to Jedi Survivor, and then he goes into a Star Wars movie theater and you sit through 3 minutes or 10 minutes of actual ads before playing like the in-game movie or something? Like, it's just outrageous. It's just outrageous, you know? Yeah, watch this 3-minute ad for 1 hour, for a 1 hour, 20% discount at Bellathor's General Goods. Yeah, dude, straight up. I wouldn't be surprised if they start trying to do stuff like that, Electron. Maybe they already have and I just missed it, but it wouldn't shock me at all if it's like, yeah, so the in-game items cost this amount, and it's like, you know, 1,000 in-game currency or whatever. You can buy the item for $5 real world dollars, or you can watch an ad to get a temporary discount of like 50%. So it's only 500 in-game currency or something. They're going to start doing that stuff all the time. And I would expect it to come to like Apex Legends or Overwatch, games like that, from Activision Blizzard. I would totally buy that companies will start experimenting with that a lot, because that's a big staple in the mobile game sector, is that it's like, oh yeah, if you want to continue playing and you don't want to wait 20 minutes for another whatever, you can either pay straight cash or you can watch an ad. I would fully buy that they start experimenting with that. And that's when that happens. That's when people actually need to lose their minds, okay? Like, for the love of God, people need to actually lose their minds when that happens. You can't do the whole thing that's like crying wolf over little stuff constantly, because then people won't take stuff like that seriously. And these companies are going to try to time it very precisely. And I think we just need to be prepared, because they're gonna try stuff like that.